What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into the Black Cat Annual for 2021. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Black Cat, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in this awesome line. Now, in this line, we have seen a lot of interesting things happen with the Black Cat. From temporarily being Sorceress Supreme to Black Fox making a deal for her to have immortality, only to make a deal with a god and reverse it all. And so it's safe to say, up until this point, she has been extremely busy. And so Felicia decides to take her and her crew on a little vacation. But as they are making their way, this is when they get intercepted. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into the Black Cat Annual, we're picking up with Felicia being stopped by White Fox, aka the National Intelligence Service in Korea. Now up to this point, Black Cat, she has had a lot go on, and really she just wants a break. She wants to take her crew on a little vacation and get away from all of the craziness that has been going on. But being a world-renowned notorious thief, no matter where she goes, she's gonna draw attention. And as Felicia gets off of the plane in Korea, she is met by White Fox and all of her guards. All of them having weapons drawn, ready to take out the Black Cat. Now, White Fox right now has her dead to rights. They've been traveling with false documents. But White Fox is also willing to kind of brush this under the table, to ignore this entirely, because White Fox is actually here to enlist the help of Black Cat if she is willing to do a job for the people of Korea. And obviously she doesn't have much of a choice. It's either she gets arrested or she goes and helps them out. Now this is going to be a solo mission, so her crew stays behind, and we see White Fox and we see Black Cat get into a vehicle. And as they're sitting in here, we see White Fox use some kind of little device and inject something into the neck of Black Cat. At first she says it was just to take her temperature, but then we soon find out that it's actually like a little miniature bomb planted in her neck. Very Suicide Squad style. But White Fox, she did this as a kind of safe measure because the information that she is about to divulge is extremely sensitive for the Republic of Korea. Because their superhero, Taegukgi, he has been compromised. Now, Felicia says that this guy is on par with Blue Marvel, with Century, Hyperion. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that he is on par with them. He definitely has a power set that is unmatched by most in the American Marvel. Now, the people that have him under control, they're known as the Chow faction. And somehow they have this superhero under their control. And obviously this is a huge issue because of the amount of damage this one hero could do could completely destroy all of Korea overnight. Not only that, but he is a huge national icon. He is the beacon of Korea. And so it would be an extremely devastating blow for someone like this to end up becoming evil, becoming the true enemy of Korea. Now, up to this point, this is a lot of information to be dumping on Felicia like this. And her reaction is to punch her in the face, to punch White Fox. Because White Fox, she lied. You know, at first she told her it was a translator being put in her neck, and then she told her it was something else, and then she's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's also a bomb. But these are huge state secrets that you need to have some kind of insurance with. But this is where we pick up a little bit later. And we're picking up with Marvel's makeshift Suicide Squad known as Tiger Division. Now in this, we get introduced to a bunch of individuals. The first being the General, the totem that walks like a man, Mr. Enigma, an unkillable brawler, god of the Seoul streets. You have Luna Snow, who is a cryokinetic pop star and one of the agents of Atlantis. You have Gunnar II, the robotic rookie with some really big shoes to fill. And then you have Antic, more or less a gambler. She's a sorcerer with a deck of cards that are having some kind of magical properties. Now, not all of these individuals are essentially prisoners forced to do this, but a few of these individuals are, to include Black Cat and to include Mr. Enigma. But this is when we drop into the nitty-gritty of it, and we see a layout of where they think this organization is held up. And they've tracked it to an abandoned Alps ski resort. And so they're going to have Enigma, the General, Luna Snow, pretty much everybody that's not White Fox and Black Cat. They're going to go and try to take on the superhero. They're going to go and try to take on Taegukgi. And this will all be a distraction so Black Cat and White Fox can get in and neutralize whoever is controlling him. But this raises the question, why the heck is Black Cat even here? You know, looking around, we see some pretty heavy hitters. And even Black Cat questions, why she's here. Because right now they're going against gangsters with a hankering for coups. And when you're going up against crooks, you want someone who can think like a crook. And when you get a crook that lands directly on your doorstep, you might as well use them to the fullest of their abilities. And that's exactly what White Fox is doing. It wasn't necessarily a necessity to have Black Cat here, but why not have one extra mind thrown into the mix to be able to help figure out exactly what's going on and who is responsible for this? And with this, we see the sorceress use her power, and she ends up dropping Black Cat and White Fox on the outskirts of the ski resort. Now, getting into this place, they're expecting at least a little bit of resistance, but as they break in, they find out very quickly that there's not much going on here. And as they get inside, they see exactly why. They see the body of the guards on the ground, and there's just blood everywhere. And as they were going through the resort, there is a horrific smell that led them into a room where there is nothing but bodies stacked on top of each other. Now, these are all the Chow faction gangsters. These guys are supposed to be the ones that were responsible for everything going on here. At least that's all the intel that White Fox has. But obviously there's something more at play here, because somebody killed every single one of these gangsters. And as these two are investigating all of this going on, this is when we pick up with the rest of Tiger Division going against their freaking superhero. And we see giant explosions. We see a building collapse. But Taegukgi, he is unharmed. Not even a single scratch on his body. These guys may be heavy hitters, but at the end of the day, they are out of their league by a tenfold. But whoever is controlling him, he's also divulging some information that Mr. Chow wanted help in doing some kind of coup. But after this individual took control of our superhero, he realized the amount of power he had and didn't want to give it up. With the true amount of power that he has now, he feels like he doesn't have to listen or be under the thumb of anybody ever again. And we see Tiger Division unload everything they have on him. And Taegukgi, he just takes it with a huge smile on his face. Now, White Fox, Black Cat, they both know that Tiger Division, they don't stand a chance against him. And that's exactly why they need to end things right here and right now. They need to end it before an angry freaking god takes apart all of Tiger Division. And as they're making their way through this resort, trying to find the individual responsible, they're going through the possibilities of what has happened here. And more than likely, Black Cat lets us know that this was probably someone working for Mr. Chow. They figured out how to mind control a superhero, and they were going to use it to their advantage, but ended up getting double-crossed. And as they run into one of these rooms, this is where they get ambushed by the Maidens. They being a mercenary death cult. Somebody hired all of these Maidens to be here to fight. And this is where we see Black Cat and White Fox go against all of these Maidens. And this is where we see some awesome battle sequences, both with White Fox and the Maidens, as well out with Tiger Division. And Tiger Division, they are just getting ate up out there, completely getting destroyed. But White Fox and Black Cat, they are able to defeat all of the Maidens, not without taking a huge amount of cuts and scrapes from all of their swords and everything else. And with the Maidens being defeated, they walk into the next room only to find the individual that is responsible for everything going on here. The individual known as Mongdol. And this guy, more or less, he's a body thief. He can project his body into somebody else's consciousness and be able to take it over. But up to this point, he was never able to take over somebody as powerful as Taegukgi. And they can't kill him, because if they do kill him, his mind will just stay in the superhero's body. And so we see Black Cat grab this man and shake the living crap out of him. Mongdol, realizing somebody is messing with his body, having Tiger Division already defeated at his feet, he psychically connects back to his body, his consciousness coming back to him, only to find White Fox and Black Cat directly in front of him. And he tells them, if you guys take one step towards me, I will retreat to his body or possibly one of yours and make one of you kill the other one. Now, Felicia, being herself, is like, dude, go ahead. Like, my body, it's got a bomb in the neck. I don't really care. Like, go ahead and do that. That'll be your best option. And White Fox didn't really want that information divulged, but Black Cat, she doesn't care. She's, you know, all cards on the table. Like, you're here because Mr. Chow hired you and you ended up turning on him, correct? And this is where he really divulges all the information, everything that's been going on up to this point. Because Mr. Chow was cooking up a little scheme, a coup for a long time. He had faked his death and supplied Mongdol with all of the drugs needed to be able to enhance his abilities to the point he could take over a superhero like him. But once he got Taegukgi's power, he didn't want to give it up. He realized how truly powerful he was, and he became drunk with that power. And we see this power has just made this guy twisted. It has made him extremely evil. He essentially wants to bring hell on earth to all of Korea. He wants to bring Korea, bringing it down to its knees. He wants to make that national icon the most evil thing that has ever been in existence. And he also thinks that they are lying about the bombs in the neck. And we see him try to take over White Fox. And White Fox is saying to fight him. Fight him with everything you have, because she doesn't want to have to blow the munitions in her neck. But Black Fox, she has already had all of this set up and ready to go from the get-go. She's had a plan from the moment she walked into this room. And Felicia tells him, you know, I wasn't lying about the bomb in the neck. Maybe White Fox, being a super spy, she may lie to you all the time, but I'm not someone to lie about something like that. But Felicia lets him know, you know, all of us probably have one. White Fox has probably got one in her neck, I've got one in my neck, and I really didn't want you to feel left out. So before you woke up, when I was shaking your body awake, I implanted one of these bombs into your neck. And we see Felicia grab a detonator and press the button. And instantaneously, we see Mongdol. He has a bulging, what appears to be blood sac on his neck because it exploded and it is killing him internally. And that is what nanomunitions do. Now, White Fox, she's like, you know, why didn't you do that immediately? And a Black Cat, you know, of course she was toying with her, messing with her. And she really just wanted to hear White Fox say that they were friends. But that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I've been a big fan of the Black Cat line so far, and this issue did not disappoint. You know, it's really hard to put Black Cat in a room with heavy hitters and have her be able to compete on the same level. But Jed MacKay, he has done such an amazing job of really knowing how to write her and put her in the right situations at the right time. You know, and we saw her in the last couple issues where she had the possibility to become immortal. She could have completely ignored everything, let Manhattan go down into the vaults, but she chose to go the different route. She chose to be the anti-hero. And I think that's the great thing about Black Cat. And she's not necessarily a bad guy, but she will steal from literally anybody. But when her back against the wall, she's got the strategy, the know-how to be able to take on even some of the strongest individuals. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.